Okay, imagine this. A party so wild, so full of joy that even the gods are just throwing their robes in the air, dancing like crazy.
Oh, it's quite the image to start with.
Right, and that's where our deep dive kicks off today. We're looking at this ancient text, the Nālakasutta.
A really fascinating one, yeah. It's got prophecy, this key birth story, but also like a super detailed guide to a certain way of life.
Exactly. So our mission is to unpack it, figure out, why the heavens were celebrating, what happened with this wise old sage, Asita, and then what this path to wisdom actually involves for his nephew.
It's quite a journey packed into one text.
It really is. So let's start with that scene. The gods are celebrating wildly. And the sage Asita, he sees this from his daytime place.
Right, his abode. And he's genuinely puzzled.
Totally. He's thinking, wait, even when they beat the Asuras, they weren't this happy. I mean, they're singing, playing music, dancing. What's going on?
And Asita's role here is key. He's not just any observer. He's a seer, someone who understands these things. The text really stresses how intense this joy is. It's off the charts, even for gods. It signals something, well, massive.
So what was it?
The gods tell him it's the birth of a peerless, incomparable Bodhisattva.
Okay.
A future Buddha, basically. Born in the human world, in Lumbini, among the Sakyas, for everyone's welfare and happiness.
Wow.
And the descriptions are powerful. Best of all beings, highest of all people. They even call him a bull among men.
Among men.
Yeah, and the prophecy is huge. He's going to set in motion the Wheel of Dhamma, the core teachings like a mighty lion.
So Asita hears this.
Yeah.
And he must have just dropped everything, right?
Immediately. The text says he descends straight away, goes right to the palace of Suddhodana, the Sakyan king.
And he asks to see the child.
Yep, asks, where's the prince? And the Sakyans show him.
And the description of the baby.
Oh, it's incredible. A gleaming like gold, dazzling like the sun itself, just pure radiance.
It really paints a picture. But then it gets even more, mystical, doesn't it? Right. Asita sees the child blazing like a flame, pure like the chief star.
Mm-hmm. Shining like the sun after the clouds, clear in autumn. He's filled with this immense joy.
But then there's the parasol.
Ah, yes. The invisible attendants.
Right. A 1,000-spoked, multi-branched parasol held by gods in the sky and these fly whisks with golden handles. But you can't see who's holding them.
Exactly. And Asita, who the text calls Kanchasiri here, and also a knower of marks and mantras, sees all this.
So he understands the symbols. He sees the child like a gold necklace on a white blanket, sees the parasol.
And it fills him with even more joy. It's layered symbolism, the parasol, the whisks. These are symbols of royalty, yes, but also supreme spiritual authority.
And the invisibility factor.
That suggests divine confirmation, right? It's not just earthly signs. It's the heavens saying, this one is special. For Asita, the knower of marks, these aren't just pretty sights, they're proof. Cosmic proof.
Proof of this child's destiny.
Precisely, a profound moment of recognition for him.
So he's convinced. He declares the child incomparable, the best of bipeds. He's full of joy, but then he starts crying.
Yeah, it's such a sharp turn, isn't it? He weeps, thinking about his own life, his own journey.
And the Sakyans understandably freak out a bit. They ask, is something bad going to happen to the child?
Right, they think it's a bad omen. But Asita quickly reassures them, no misfortune for the child, he says. This one is not ordinary.
Okay, yeah.
He confirms the prophecy. The child will reach supreme enlightenment, Sambodhi. He will teach the Dhamma for the benefit of many. His holy life, the Brahmacharya, will spread far and wide.
So, why the tears then?
It's for himself. He realizes his own life is short, he's old. He knows he'll die before this child becomes the Buddha and teaches.
Oh, wow.
He won't get to hear the incomparable Dhamma directly from the source. That's the tragedy for him, the reason for his sorrow.
That's actually really poignant. Even with all his wisdom, he faces this very human limitation, missing out on something huge.
Exactly. It hits that bittersweet note, immense joy for the world, personal sorrow for what he'll miss.
Which explains what he does next. He leaves the palace, but then he finds his nephew, Nākai.
Right. Out of compassion, the text says. He doesn't want his nephew to miss out like he will.
So he gives him instructions.
Tells him, essentially, listen, when you eventually hear the news that the Buddha is teaching the Dhamma, you need to go.
Go find him.
Go find him, ask him questions, and live the holy life under him. And Nālaka, who's described as having good merit, takes this to heart. He guards his senses, and he just waits.
Waits for the signal.
For years, presumably, until the time comes.
And it does. Nālaka hears the news the Buddha is teaching. He finds him.
Finds the sage, yeah. And he's delighted. eager. He asks the Buddha about the highest state of a muni.
Okay, let's pause there. Muni. What exactly is Nālaka asking for? What does that mean?
Good question. A muni is basically a sage, an ascetic, someone deeply wise, often characterized by inner silence and profound understanding.
So it's not just knowledge, it's a state of being.
Exactly. This state of a muni or munya is a complete transformation, and the Buddha is very direct about it.
He warns him, doesn't he?
He does. He says it's difficult and hard to achieve. You need real firmness, real strength. It's not a casual undertaking.
Okay, so it's tough. What does this path actually look like? Because the text gets surprisingly practical.
Oh, incredibly practical. It laid out a detailed guide. It starts with inner mastery, really.
Like how?
Maintaining equanimity. Whether people praise you or blame you in the village, you stay composed, guarding the mind against defilements, staying calm, not getting arrogant.
And a big focus on desire.
Huge. Abstaining from sexual conduct is explicitly mentioned. The text uses that striking, if context-specific, metaphor about tongues of fire regarding women, really emphasizing detachment from all sensual pleasures in that monastic setting.
Right, understanding the context there is important.
Absolutely. The core aim is abandoning all desire and greed because that's what binds people to suffering, to what the text calls this hell.
And compassion comes in here too.
Critically.
Yeah.
That line. As I am, sir, as these are, so am I.
Seeing yourself in others.
Exactly, and that naturally leads to nonviolence. Don't kill, don't cause killing. It's a foundational principle.
So it's deep internal work.
Comprehensive work. Dismantling arrogance, attachment, ill will. The nonviolence part, based on empathy, feels timeless, right?
Definitely. But it's not just internal, is it? It dictates how the muni interacts with the world too. Simplicity seems key.
Very much so. Eat little, be content with little, don't be greedy, restrain the stomach. This freedom from wanting more is what leads to inner calm.
How about when getting food, like alms?
Specific instructions there too. When you go to the village for alms, don't get caught up in invitations or chatter. Speak briefly.
No harsh speech.
No harsh speech. And be content whether you receive something or nothing. Like a tree, it says, just standing, unaffected.
Don't complain about the gift either.
Right. Don't despise a small gift or look down on the giver. It's about cultivating this deep non-reactivity.
It sounds like cutting off all the usual hooks that cause suffering.
That's the idea. The text says the monk whose defilements are cut, whose craving is gone, whose abandoned duties, they don't experience that burning of suffering.
And that phrase, like a razor's edge.
Yeah, it paints a vivid picture. It means control, precision, control the tongue, eat moderately, keep the mind unblemished, don't overthink. Complete devotion to this path.
Well, it's demanding.
It is. The imagery isn't meant to scare you off, maybe, but to show the constant awareness needed. It's about finding an inner balance that isn't rocked by anything external.
And then there's the whole aspect of solitude.
Yes, a huge emphasis on that. Practice sitting alone. Solitude itself is called mona.
The root of muni, you said.
Exactly. If you can find delight, real joy in being alone, the text says you can enlighten the 10 directions, which is quite a statement.
Wow. And he even mentions hearing other meditators.
Yeah, hearing the sound of other renunciants who've given up desires should, interestingly, increase your own sense of shame, meaning like healthy self-reflection on your own attachments and also your faith in the path.
It's like reinforcement through stillness.
And that leads to the final point about Siddham and silence. The sutta uses that great analogy.
The streams in the ocean.
That's the one. Shallow streams make noise, but the great ocean is silent.
Makes sense.
And what is empty makes noise. What is full is calm. A fool is like a half-filled pot clattering around. A wise person, like a full pond. Still, deep.
So it's not that a wise person never speaks.
No, the Buddha clarifies that. If an ascetic speaks, and it's full of meaning, based on knowledge, teaching the Dhamma, that's valuable. But the one who knows, who is restrained, who doesn't speak much unless necessary, that muni is truly worthy of mona. That muni has attained mona. Silence, or rather, knowing when not to speak, is a sign of fullness.
So the real insight, the aha moment maybe, is that this profound state isn't about accumulating stuff, even knowledge maybe, but about letting go. Letting go of desires, noise, even the need to prove yourself.
It's a radical letting go, an inner decluttering on a massive scale.
So we've gone from this huge celestial party
through a sage's bittersweet prophecy
to this incredibly detailed, really challenging path toward inner peace and wisdom laid out for his nephew.
It's quite an arc in the Nālakasutta, from cosmic events to very practical personal disciplines.
Yeah, this deep dive really shows that longing for well-being, spanning heaven and earth. We see Asita's foresight, and then this intense path of the muni, equanimity, nonviolence, simplicity, solitude, wisdom through silence.
And even though it's ancient, you can see the parallels, right? Managing desire today, finding compassion, seeking quiet in all the noise, figuring out what real wisdom even looks like. The struggles feel familiar.
They really do, which kind of leads to a final thought for you listening.
Yeah, think about it. What parts of this state of maybe the quiet, the simplicity, the non-reactivity, what parts might actually appeal to you even now in your life?
And what might taking even a small step on that razor's edge look like for you today? Something to ponder.